They stole the votes. The Dominion voting machines stole the votes. And George Soros, Mark Zuckerberg, paid $400 million to flip the votes. Mike the Pillow Man will tell you that.
Right. So Mike Lindell says that. So that's the fact then, right?
Trump says that. Joe Biden has been dead since 2019. James Woods, the actor, is playing Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe Poopy Pants. But the president is trying to get us back down with our economy because...
So he is the president.
Yes, he never conceded. He is very much the president of the republic. Biden has been doing all his White House pictures out there in California at Black Rock Studio with the fake green screen.
And so...
He doesn't even live in the White House. Nobody lives in the White House.
Oh, so he's in California?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I don't accept the vote.
Would you call that woman deceived or delusional? You make the decision based upon her crazy talk right there. But you know, it is unfortunately, we have a large number of people that believe this way. And over just a few days ago there, President Trump retweeted something that's just crazy to go along with these conspiracy theorists. I don't know if many of you know about it or if those of you haven't heard about it, but we're going to talk about it because he retweeted someone talking about Biden was executed and he's a robot and a clone, this clone talk. And he retweets that. He retweeted that. And this, you know, I want you to see some of these clips because let's brush Trump aside. We know that he's got his own issues and a lot going on. We want to keep it on a spiritual level because I want you to see we got pastors, we got an event I'm going to show you the clip of where they talk this silly clone stuff. Some of you may have seen these clips, some of you may have not, but I want you to see the deception and the foolishness that's going on within the church. Let's look at the first one.
There are two seats in the world. The other seat is not human. And until we start realizing that we're dealing with creatures that are not human, you keep thinking people like Pelosi and Biden are human. I don't know where their human selves are. But the Bible says the devil would deceive the people of the world to create these images. So how does this deception take place? Be quiet, be quiet. Wait, you have time to shout. Just give me a few minutes. What's happening to this seed? Listen, the devil will deceive them that if you die, you're going to live forever. We will clone you, download your brain to the Internet of Things, and then we're going to upload your brain back into that clone and you live forever. It's a deception. Because you see, Bill Gates has been deceived. Even the elites of the world that were human beings have been deceived. Because if Bill Gates was going to die in 20 years, why is he trying to kill us? Why is he trying to preserve the world if he's living in 20 years? They have deceived him that when he will live forever, that when he dies, they will clone him, but he will die, or maybe he has already.
Now, that's an old clip of this woman, Stella, that's supposed to be a doctor. She's an actual doctor. And she has traveled all through that election time with very famous people, other pastors on the platform, all of that. And they stand there with these crowds to listen to this woman talk nonsense. And this is a doctor. Yeah, I mean, she intertwined the scriptures and talk about demons a little bit. Yeah, we believe in demons and all of this. But this talking about this silly clone stuff and basically Biden's dead is about as silly as can be. And so let's look at the next clip. Let's look at a YouTuber. He's off in South Korea. Like after Trump won, he took off for some reason. A lot of people were saying maybe he didn't have his, after all this time, it's just awful funny that he just shipped himself on out. And he's always been, you never hear anything about family too much or anything with this guy, but who knows? But his name is Chris Yoon. Let's listen to his crazy talk. And he still pops out a video here and there out from South Korea where he's at. And pops crazy videos out here, conspiracies, because he's been in this delusion for a long time. Let's look.
Who is this man currently in the White House, and why does he look so different from the man 10 years ago is one question among many that a growing number of people are asking as a catalyst to their journey in finding out what's really going on behind the scenes. Now, more and more people believe that something is off about the government and what they're telling us, and that there's some kind of acting going on in politics and in the news today because the ridiculousness is so exaggerated that it cannot be real, and it's allowing people an entry point or a trigger point to question and go deeper into this quote unquote realm of conspiracy. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about the next question you should really be asking if you've already realized that Biden and this guy is not the real guy from 10 years ago, which is this a white hat operation or is this a black hat operation?
See there? The same old thing with this Biden's dead stuff. You see, so this underground talk of this silliness has been going on for a long time. This is why these types of people, it's a large group of them, this conspiracy, deep, dark, where they believe, the Pizzagate stuff, that those of you don't familiar with that, and that the children, Jim Caviezel, remember Jim Caviezel with that Sound of Freedom movie? That's why I spoke out against it, because I spoke out against it first because Angel Studios, which is owned by the Mormons, got enough of the, Mormon will, that's a whole nother issue as far as the Mormon religion, but they got their own sexual talk. I mean, it's about as bad as the Catholic Church was. And they got the nerve to try to act like they're standing up for children all of a sudden. And then Jim Caviezel and his buddy, they're part of that same group where he's talking about drinking blood of children. People are out here for getting high off of drinking blood of children. All of this crazy stuff. So he's this group. So this is what you have. Now so you got the crazy Chris Yoon. Now let's look at a pastor pull off this foolishness while church members are sitting there listening to it. Our old buddy Hank Tin Man Kuhneman. Let's take a look.
So somebody just texted me a picture of the guy that they say is Biden. And I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't look, there's several pictures. It looks nothing like the guy that is Joe Biden. Now people say, oh, it's cosmetic surgery. I'm a cartoonist. I also, and I'm being honest, I also am a portrait artist. And I recognize features. And I can see features and what I'm telling you, this is very interesting because November 4th of 2020, God said 46 doesn't exist. I remember that. And I had a dream on November 4th. I saw where they announced the election for this fake administration. And I saw what looked like the face of what we would call Joe Biden. And the voice of the devil spoke. In fact, his face changed. Remember, I said, I don't know what's going on with his face, but it wasn't him. And listen, something's happening. You say, well, that sounds like conspiracy. I don't listen to any of that stuff. I don't even listen to the news. I'm just looking at pictures that are sent to me. I went out and researched it myself, said, okay, typed in what, and I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man. And so, for one, the one Biden, all the years he had bluish green eyes. Now this new thing has brown eyes. So, let's be honest. I think we're being played.
And as you see there, he's a cartoonist. He's talking about this is the body doubles and all of this crazy stuff. The same stuff that got tweeted that Trump used. And this right here, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, you would have never thought you would hear some of the stuff you're hearing within churches today. You never would have thought you heard something like that. We've heard over the years, people don't believe that the moon landing was real. People believe in Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, things like that. You've heard all the earth is flat. These conspiracies. You got these people out there, but they don't affect no one's spirituality. You just typically listen to this stuff. You might have watched it on something as you're growing up. Maybe you was, I was fascinated. Oh, this Loch Ness Monster. I used to get the books when I was a kid, and the Bigfoot books too, and Life's on Mars and all that. So you'll have these types of things from people. They didn't mess with your spirituality and your Christian walk of any sorts. But now it's infiltrated the church, coming out of pastors and Christian leaders' mouths. And people are sitting there and have fallen under the spell of how that Satan has captured their minds and their hearts to fool them to believe such an idiotic thing. Oh, we're in such a dangerous time. People are in trouble, big trouble. That's why I just say, if you belong to a church like this, you got to get out. If you are subscribed to a YouTuber Christian channel, or somebody starts talking conspiratorial crazy crap like that, you got to get away from them. It's going to destroy you. Satan comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And he's going to destroy you, your family, and your circle around you spiritually. And you have to get away from this, because all it's going to do is get worse. And after a while, it's going to cause family members possibly not to want to have anything to do with you. Your own kids, your friends. You're going to find yourself isolated. And then you're going to go attach yourself with others that think psychotic like this. You got to stop it before it's too late. You're going to destroy yourself. And we as saints have to continue to pray. That's why I pray any ministry that is glorifying idols, any ministry that is preaching politics, any ministry that is pushing conspiracy theories, any ministry that is lying on the Lord, I pray that the Lord tear their ministry and false kingdom down. I pray that, and you pray that as well, saints out there, because we have to get a grip on this thing and reel this thing in, because it's getting worse by the day. And on this channel, we're going to continue to call it out. We'll continue to talk about the devil and punch him right in between the chops and talk about issues the church run away from. My name is Maurice Braxton. Hang tight. Continue to fight until the next video, my friends. Take care. God bless.